Okay, let's talk about how many leads you need for your business, how that affects your marketing spend, and things along those lines. This is not that hard, but a lot of people don't do it, and it drives me nuts. So I'm gonna walk you through it. You can see how simple it is. And if you need help doing this for your own business, by all means, hit the description in the YouTube video for this, because there will be a link to a spreadsheet where you can just pop in numbers, make this easy for yourself. So let's hop right to it. All right, so you're gonna need to do some math, which is fine because there's that spreadsheet, but you can do this yourself, follow along. I used big round numbers to make it easy. Let's talk about what you're gonna need. So you're going to need, let's say $60,000 a month for your small business. That's not very much in the grand scheme of things for businesses that are actively working, but let's say you need $60,000 in order to make your business go. This includes all your expenses, it includes your pay, it includes your profit, okay? So now we need to take your average ticket. Your average ticket, well, let's just say that it's $800, right? If you're a service-based business, this shouldn't be too hard, $800 for your service. Now, in order to make the numbers work, you know that you're going to need 75 sales per month, if this is your base month, in order to make that go. So that is your target. That's what you wanna try and bring in the door. Now, some are gonna come in naturally, and that just happens. And depending on how long you've been in business, you're probably gonna bring more in naturally. That's organic. Okay, you don't have to pay for them, you don't have to work for them, they just show up. So let's just assume for the sake of this, that it's 10%. Now, if it's 10% of the sales that you need, you're still looking at 7.5, so let's just round that up to 8. So 8 of those sales are gonna come in, and you're going to need 67 to fill the gap. So now if you're not getting them organically, where are they coming from? You have to make them happen. And that's what marketing and advertising is. You're trying to pull from the pool of people to come into you. Now, the question is, how much do you need to spend to get them, right? How much money does it take to bring those people in and make enough so that way you actually have a business at the end of it? And by the way, once you do this after a while, the number that we come up with becomes part of those operating costs. So that way you're using your marketing spend to help pay for your marketing, which is giving you more money so you can use it against your marketing spend, right? So that's the dream. But it takes some work to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. All right, so you run ads, you do sponsorships, whatever, and you do your best to track those. So let's say that after 2 to 3 months, you're starting to realize how much your marketing is costing you, right? So you've got impressions, which lead to clicks usually, or website visits, and those are what lead to leads, okay? So there's always a fall off. You get a lot of impressions, you get a few clicks, and you get fewer leads. That is the way it goes. It's a funnel, and you lose people along the stages. This is nothing to be alarmed of. It's just the way human nature and advertising work. So let's say that you spent $4,000 and you got 100 leads in a month. So now you have an idea. You can go, okay, cool. Well, that's $40 per lead, except you know that you aren't going to convert all of them. And I know that you're not going to convert all of them. And that's because sometimes sales just doesn't happen well. Something's wrong. The person answering the phone is off, your sales guy's off, whatever. The other times is some of those leads aren't going to be high quality. They aren't going to actually be the person that you want. You got those leads, but they aren't good leads. And we try and narrow that down so that way you get more qualified or good leads that become jobs. But no matter what, there's always a fall off. So now, as you go down, let's assume that out of those 100 leads, only 50% of them actually became book jobs and you got money, right? So 50% of those became sales. That means for $4,000, you didn't get 100, you've got 50. So that, of course, makes it $80 per lead. Now, you roughly know how much each lead is costing you from the start of your money all the way to the end of your money. And if your pricing is right, and this is where your marketing can help determine your pricing, and it's okay to understand that your marketing will give you insight into how much you need to make your business run, so that way you're pricing yourself properly to have a business. This is something some people struggle with, so I'm mentioning it. But now you know how much the leads cost and what you need to spend to get what you got. Let's work backwards from there. $80 a lead, you need 75 sales, you get 8 naturally. Out of organic, that means there's a 67 lead gap. And if you have to pay for each one and it's $80 per lead, it's gonna cost you drum roll, $5,360 in 1 month's worth of advertising. And that's how it works. That's your ad spend. Now, you have to realize it's going to fluctuate. Sometimes you'll spend that much and you'll get more leads. Sometimes you'll get a little bit less leads. So I like to build in a little bit of buffer. So estimate high, add another 10% to that ad spend. So 10 to 20, let's say. So let's go with 20. So that'd be $6,360 in a month in order to get the leads and the traffic you need in order to pay for your business. Now that you know that budget, you can add it to your expenses. And then yes, you will need more leads. And so you start working on your financials and you can make this system work. So it's not hard, but a lot of people just don't do it. A lot of people don't take this time. And this is something that we have learned and figured out on our end, so that way we can come back to a client and be like, this is how much your leads are costing. How many of these do you need? Okay, we have to spend this much in order to make that happen for you. Can you do that? And if they can't, they have a business problem more than they have a marketing problem. Now, granted, marketing, you can optimize and you make things cost less, but it always costs money to make money. When it comes to business, the world of customer acquisition means you have to spend it, and we try and make sure that you spend it as wisely and as cost effectively as possible, but those costs vary, and you'll find that your lead costs will go up and down depending on what's going on in the market, where you're located, what time of year it is, what the headspace of the people that you work with have. So I hope that this gives you an idea of how you can take the data from your marketing to inform your spends within the platform. But you also need to realize that there's no exact science to this, and the landscape shifts month to month, sometimes week to week, just the way it is. So you've got demand, you've got supply, and you've got competition, and all those things influence each other. So anywho, I've talked a ton. I should let you go. I hope this helps. You have a good one. Thanks.